Hello, everybody. My name is Tony G, and I help plumbing business owners and restoration companies come together so that everybody makes money. Today, I want to introduce you guys to Carla Pastor,
Hello.
and she is a restoration business consultant. Okay.
Yes.
And so she hired Strictly Plumbers for a really good reason. But Carla, can you just tell us a really quick story of like what the vision of your business is, where you were before you hired us, and then where you're at now? Like, what do we do for
Yeah, of course. So I've been in the restoration industry for close to 10 years now. I started off working directly for restoration companies as a B2B account manager. And I loved my job. I loved being able to go out. My division in the industry was to get leads through plumbing companies. So that's how I came across you, Tony's, because you're involved obviously with plumbers. But my job was to get leads from plumbers. And of course, the fun part about my job is to build relationships, right? So there's a lot of like, hanging out with the plumbers, going out to eat, taking them to events and stuff like that. The downside though to my job is that, or to what I used to do, is that if the company I worked for failed, right? They started not keeping their promises, not providing good service, I would lose the account. And it was a bummer, right? Because I spent a lot of time building these relationships, making promises. And then when the company failed, I was the failure. I was the one that didn't keep the promises. I was the one that did not provide the good customer service. I was, ultimately the one who dropped the ball.
it's all your fault for sure.
It was all my fault. And not only did my plumbers, see it like I was the failure in this, but the companies I worked for also saw it that way. And so, of course, with trial and error, I lost a job here and there. Then as I got, more into the industry, I started realizing that there was so much more that I could do, not just for my plumbers, but for the customers. But it wasn't going to happen if I was stuck, you know, working for somebody else. I had to eventually venture out on my own. Eventually, go ahead.
And that's where you came up with Blue Ribbon Restoration, and now you're a consultant, and you help out restoration companies, right?
Yeah.
And so can you tell us about what we built for you, and how did that unravel?
So I was really intrigued with what you do, right? And I kept on going onto your page, and I'd be like, oh, like, I want to work with Tony, but I don't know how we're going to do this. But you and your team put together my website. And that was pretty interesting because, I'm probably like one of the like easiest people to work with, but I'm also probably one of the most challenging. It's like, I know what I want, but I don't. I'm, I'm like your typical woman, right? With a power trip, which is not
I'm
a good
familiar.
combination. But no, you know what, Tony? I know that I mentioned this to you before. And I did, write a review on your team, which I don't normally write reviews, and usually when I do, it's not a good one. But I was really, really happy with your team. I was really just blown away with the amount of patience, for one, they had with dealing with me, because again, I can be very, very difficult to work with. Being that I work in the service industry, a lot of people depend on me. I have plumbers that depend on me. I have the companies that I send out, right? Because as a consultant, I don't have a restoration company. I don't have a rebuild company. I don't have an asbestos abatement company. I sub out all of that work. And so I have these vendors that I send out that have, really high expectations of what I'm able to do for their companies, right? But on top of that, I also have the homeowners that expect a lot from me, especially when they find out I'm a consultant and that I'm in charge of putting, this team together for them. And then I'm overseeing everything. Again, when something, something comes up, right? I'm the person they call. It doesn't even matter. Sometimes it could be a plumbing issue and they call me and I'm like, oh, I'm not your plumber. That wasn't part of my team. But because, of the fact that people have really high expectations of me, when I deal with a company that provides a service, the expectations are extremely high as well. I'm going to pay for the service and I'm happy to do it no matter what the price is. But the expectations are going to be like up here. And
That's really good. I'm glad you touched base on expectations, because one thing I noticed about you working with you is that you do pay attention to detail a lot.
yeah.
And like as much as possible from every angle, I watched you pay attention to detail as we were building your website. And so that kind of relates onto the plumbers and the plumbing business owners that are watching this video.
Yeah.
My recommendation, like if you have a restoration company and you're within the Los Angeles area or surrounding areas, you need to get a hold of Carla, because she can get you a bunch of work. That's the whole point, is for her to get you a bunch of work. Well, what kind of work? Water leaks, right?
Water leaks, sewage.
So, yeah. So whether it's a
But
main
not
line
just
that's
that.
backed up or water line.
Not just that. So I actually go a little bit above that too. I deal a lot with a lot of newer restoration companies. They don't really know as far as their advertising, their marketing, there's so much that gets involved into what like a B2B account manager does, right? But they don't know, they took the classes to get certified for their restoration company. They have maybe their license. Hopefully they have a license for, their general B so they can do their demos. They don't always do rebuilds, but for the demos, there's going to be some customers that are going to require that general B. But I get hit up a lot actually from companies that are just getting started, and they went to a supply store and somebody at the supply store said, call Carla. She's gonna guide you. Essentially, I end up creating more competition, I guess, but I don't mind. There's plenty of business out there, and if I can help a company grow, as far as going out, sitting down with their reps, and just kind of going over some of the things they're gonna have to do. I even do like counter events and just kind of do just one event and just show them how to talk to the plumbers and stuff like that. I'm always happy to do that. I also introduce them to other vendors. So if they don't, let's say, provide rebuilds, I'm more than happy to introduce them to the companies that I like to use, because, again, I hold everybody to a really high standards. So I know that if they use my people, they're in good hands.
Thank you so much for saying that. So you want to become some of her people. Like if you're watching this video and you're a plumbing business owner, get in her circle, because she can simply, whether you're a plumbing business owner or a restoration business owner, actually, if you're a plumbing business owner, she'll get you some jobs. If you're a restoration company, she'll get you jobs and teach you how to scale your plumbing company. One thing I appreciate about Carla is that she has a way of talking to plumbers. She knows how to build relationships with them. She's got her own reputation, and she's like the queen of this stuff in Los Angeles. And so, think about this. If you had a rep at your restoration company that just killed it, because they're out there. You may even know some of them. You may even know Carla and know that how badass she is. But like, we all have, most of us have staff members, and so we all want our staff members to do well. Well, Carla can teach your staff members at your restoration company how to make more money. So if you have a rep that's chasing plumbers, let her train that person for you. She will make it happen and get you more jobs.
I've even gone out to job sites with some of the project managers to listen how they sell, and then pull them over to the side and be like, okay, you talked too much here. You didn't answer the question. You did this. You did. I'm like, trust me, I love you. I'm not being mean. I want to see you succeed. So please take my criticism as positive, not negative.
Yeah, a
But
constructive
but I do it
criticism.
but I do it all because I care, really.
You
I just want to see everybody do good.
you do.
Like I want to give you a little story.
Okay.
Years ago, I worked for a company, and at this company, I thought for sure I got it. I know what my job requires for me to do. The company made some changes. I actually did take the company from bringing in the year prior $1 million to the 1 year that I was with up to 4 million. So I kind of did something good, right?
Wow, that's huge. That's 4x. That's huge.
Yeah, but the following year wasn't so great, and because it wasn't so great, they felt like they had to let me go, and I was really bummed out because I thought, I thought I did good.
Yeah.
But I remember sitting with my HR manager, and she was really nice lady, and she says to me, Carla, you were great. I love you. It was so nice working with you, blah, blah, blah. But maybe you should consider going into a different industry, doing something different. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, maybe, going to like customer service, maybe at like a store or something, and I was like, I appreciate your suggestions, but I love what I do. I just need to figure out a way to do it better. That's all.
Yeah.
And I walked away like, she's crazy. I'm never gonna go work for us. Are you kidding me?
You
And
have a niche already. You already have a niche.
yeah, you know what? Uh, it's nice when you get to go to work and actually do what you love. And every single day, I get to help people. Um, the cherry on top is that I get paid for it, but I do what I do because ultimately, one way or another, I get to help somebody, and it's a great feeling.
And I would say let Carla help your restoration company. Let Carla consult you. Let Carla train your staff members, train whether they're men or women that are chasing the plumbers. It doesn't matter. She's got the skills down. What's the name of your website? Can you spell it out for, let the guys know?
Yeah, my website is blueribbonrestoration.com.
Yep.
It's pretty
Blue
simple.
Ribbon Restoration.com.
Yeah.
So, yours truly built it. It was actually me and
Oh
my
my
team, not me
gosh.
by myself. But more importantly, like you guys got to make sure that you reach out to Carla because she can help you in so many different ways. If you own a restoration company and if you own a plumbing company, then she can pass you a bunch of leads and water leaks and stuff. So, hey, Carla, it takes a process to build a website. It's not like
Yes.
1 hour to the other, right? And
And I
so
want to talk about
days
that.
involved, and there's a lot of people building like. So I'll break it down. We have a writer. Somebody has to
Mhm.
write all the content and all the words that are going to be on the website, and then you have a designer. This is what the
Mhm.
website is actually going to look like. And
Mhm.
then my assistant also, she's going to
Queenie.
capture Queenie. She's going to capture all the information
Mhm.
necessary to build the website, right? Pictures,
Mhm.
domain name. So, and then you have an editor, somebody that overlooks everything after it's written to make sure there's no typos and stuff.
Mhm.
Then you have like
Yeah.
managers and owners, right? So like I
Mhm.
just mentioned a handful of people that it takes to build a website. So as you can
Yeah.
see, it's not a one-man job and it's not 1 hour
No.
to the other. If it's like there's templates out there you can build, but they're like they won't get you anywhere. So we built her a really badass custom website. She got
Mhm.
a chance to like work with my staff and go back and forth with them. And it wasn't the most easiest job, right? We're strictly plumbers and we had to go build a restoration company. So can you
So
tell
you're
them?
no, you can't say strictly plumbers anymore.
Yeah, right. So can
You're
you
gonna have
tell
to change your name.
the crowd that's watching, like, how did we do? How did we perform? Did we suck? How was the
Yeah,
communication?
no,
And would you recommend strictly plumbers?
I totally want to talk about my experience because you asked me earlier if I know any plumbers that have used your services. And you know what? I have so much going on in my head. I'm pretty sure I know a lot of plumbers who use your services. I just can't think of any right now.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? Like I said earlier, I hold everybody to a high standard. And Oliver and Queenie were the ones that I dealt with the most. Queenie was so good about whenever I'd get lost with the whole like base camp, right? You want to tell them what base camp is because
Yeah,
I'm so
it's basically
confused.
an application where it's on your phone and your company communicates with my company, and it eliminates
Mhm.
texting and email. That way we're all on the same page.
Yeah, and I'm totally like your grandma when it comes to this, as far as like, don't complicate it any more than what it is. I already know my text messages. I already know my emails. And then you threw Basecamp at me, and I was like a little like annoyed with it. I was like, it's just send me a text, right?
Right.
But you know what though? I appreciate Basecamp, right? Because it did actually bring everybody together.
Together.
If I sent a message, it went out to everybody. And sometimes I'd be like, someone would be like, Carla, who was this to? And I'd be like, figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, we all got the memo though, right? We all get the memo. And so that means we're on it.
but
Totally
you
on
know,
it.
and the thing is, that's just how I am. Like again, holding you to high expectations, like read the message and you should know who it's
Figure it
to,
out.
right?
Yeah,
but but
absolutely.
but that's where Queenie came in, and she'd be like, it's good, we got you, right? And I'd be like, cool, you made my life easier.
Yeah.
And she was so amazing. Like sometimes because I'm so like, I can be very sarcastic, I can be very straightforward, I'm very blunt. People don't like it and they get really mad, and you can hear it. And I tell them, you know what? I hired you to do something, so why are you giving me attitude? Like, you signed up for this. Sorry, buddy, right? And she'd be like, no, we're good.
Super
We got
polite.
you.
Yeah. We,
Totally polite, like so cool to talk to.
yeah.
It wasn't a drag. It wasn't what I kind of expected it to be. I thought for sure I'm gonna be so annoyed. I don't know if I want to do this, but okay, I need
Yeah.
a website and he knows the industry. So, all right, we'll see how this goes. And then it was really cool. Oliver's the designer, right?
Yeah.
Because we talked a lot about the colors and the pictures and all of this great stuff, right? All the fun stuff. And we were talking, and so I was telling him the colors. I wanted to be blue, like a light blue. I want some gold, some yellow, white. I was like, I want it to feel refreshing, like I don't want it to feel like a really cluttered, like restoration page. I want it to be informative because the thing is, I don't provide a restoration service. I provide a team for the customer. So whether they need a PA, they need a restoration company to do the mitigation, if they need the rebuild, if they need a asbestos abatement, whatever they need. If I don't have that person in my team, I will find that person and I will put them in there, right? So I told, Oliver, I don't want it to be this really crowded, like restoration page. It has to represent everything, the whole team. And so he was like, okay. So he was really digging the colors. And then I said, and by the way, I wear a red bracelet.
That's right.
And so within everything that I just requested from you, I want you to throw in a red line in the design. And he was like, what? And I was like, it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be like this thick line. It doesn't have to be like in your face, right? It's just something you're scrolling through and you see that red line. So whatever negative energy people want to throw at me, it just gets pushed away, right? I was like, nothing crazy. And he was like, all right, like,
Like
okay. And I can almost, I was waiting for him to say, are you crazy? Like, why would you do that to
that.
me? Right? I was really hoping that he would challenge me on that, but he didn't. I was like, this was too easy.
You get
Yeah, but
a lot of requests,
I'm
right?
pretty sure. I'm
Uh,
pretty sure. And you know what?
Special.
There were a few little things. He wanted to throw in coupons on my page, and I was like, Oliver, I don't give coupons.
Yeah.
I was like, get rid of the coupons. And he said, okay. And he did that right away.
Yeah.
Then he wanted to uh, well, I don't think it was him. I think it was the writer. So then there was some references to plumbing, and I said, I'm not a plumber, so take out the plumbing. And they were like, okay. And I was like, they're too easy to work with. There's no argument here whatsoever.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, if I was in the mood for an argument today, I'm not getting one. To call somebody else.
We'll tell you to take that shit somewhere else.
But you know what though? You know what though, Tony?
You're awesome. You're awesome. You're awesome.
Overall though, Tony, I was beyond impressed with
Thank
your team.
you.
You have done such an amazing job putting your team together. I didn't get a chance to talk to everybody, and maybe that was intentionally done. But the thing is, everybody was just such a pleasure to work with. I was reading my website, right? And the wording that was used and the way that everything was described and put together, I was like, I can't use the words I want to use because this is gonna be, public, but a lot of cuss words in a positive way came out of my mouth.
I hear you. We're plumbers. We curse sometimes, it's all good. Thank
Yeah, I
you.
have a major sailor's mouth. But the thing is, I was just like so blown away. So blown away. And if anybody has ever been on your social media and scrolled through 1,000 times questioning, should I don't know. I don't know anybody, whatever the case is, right? Just set up that appointment. Set up that appointment. You will definitely not regret setting up that appointment to talk about what you want to do. I really didn't need a website, especially so soon into me starting my company, because introducing myself as it is can be a challenge sometimes. So it's still a brand new, title, right? It's a new concept to restoration services. So it wasn't like a emergency type of thing, right? But I wanted to put my name out there. I want people to know who I am, because when I first started as a consultant, I was kind of like a secret in the whole, team. Sometimes I was introduced as working for the restoration company. Sometimes I was introduced as just Carla, and people didn't really know who I was in the whole team. A lot of times they assumed I was just part of the company that I used for restoration. And I got tired of it because I worked really hard for my company, for Blue Ribbon Restoration Consultancy. I work really, really hard, and I want my company to be known. I want people to know who I am and what I do and what I have to offer to the situation they have going on. In order to do that, I needed to get reviews. I needed to get a website. I really needed to get my name out there. And you're just a godsend, you and your team.
Thank you.
You guys are a godsend. I hope your company continues to grow. I hope that me talking to your audience really helps your company expand, because I don't recommend a company just because. I just won't do it. I've struggled so much in 10 years with so many people asking for my recommendation, and I did it, and I put my name out there, and my reputation was tarnished because I recommended somebody.
Yeah.
So I won't do it. I just won't recommend someone unless I can 100% vouch for that company, and I know that no matter what day of the month it is or what time of the day, they're always going to provide good customer service. And Tony, your company, I will recommend your company to anybody, any day, any time of the year. You guys are just top notch, amazing company.
Thank you so much.
No, I
Thank
thank you. I thank you, and I thank your team for the amazing website you guys put together. I thank you guys for the patience and the laughs, and it's just the whole experience all around. I remember seeing Queenie, and I was like, is that really her name, or is that just
That's really her name? Yeah. Kind of a weird name. Her
And so
name.
then I realized that is her name. That's so cute. You know, even the name was just so adorable.
Yeah,
But you know,
she's amazing. She's been with
yeah.
me for about 2.5 years now. And she went
Okay.
from my virtual assistant to my administrative assistant,
Mhm.
part-time to full-time. And gosh, she just climbed up the corporate ladder and now she's taking over the Facebook department. So
Nice. Yeah, well
she's earned
deserved.
it.
Well deserved
She's earned
because
it. Yeah.
she is something special. I'm telling you. You know, and Oliver was, you know, again, I didn't get a chance to talk to everybody in the team, but oh boy, I can only imagine if my experience with Queenie and Oliver were so great. I'm telling you, like you did an amazing job putting your team together. And that's
Thank
what I
you so
strive for.
much.
You know, I strive for a team that not only works really good together, but people are happy to work with that. You know, that's
Yeah.
why I go on job sites and I spend a lot of time working on my team because I want every experience to be the kind of experience that I had with your team.
Yeah, I think hiring the right people is probably one of the biggest struggles in the whole industry
Mhm.
right now. It's bigger problem than ever. And what I could
Yeah.
tell you is I've learned a lot of lessons from hiring and firing, right? I'm at 25 employees right now. And one of the things that I learned from one of my friends that owns a Chick-fil-A,
Okay.
and he's got over 100 employees. It's crazy. I can't believe there's that many in that Chick-fil-A, but there is, it's like there just is. So I'm like, well, that's a lot of people. How do you? So, anyways, he starts teaching me about how to hire the right people. I'm going to teach
Mhm.
you something, and anybody else listening to this. I started doing this. It's called the 3 C's. So whenever
Mhm.
you're considering hiring somebody, there's a lot of stuff to consider. So this is not end all. This is just one of the things to use as a tool. The like, make sure that they can, do good in these 3 departments. The first
Okay.
C is, are they capable? They got to be capable. You don't want to be
Mhm.
hiring somebody where like you're doing favors and like, I'm going to hire my nephew to give him a job and I'm going to train him. No, they got to be
Mhm.
capable. I'm sorry, but you need somebody that's capable. Number two is their character. Are they going to do the right thing when nobody is looking?
Exactly.
And that right there is a big deal, you know,
Mhm.
um, because that's what separates like the good guys from the bad guys, you
Yeah.
know. And also the other one is culture. Is
Mhm.
this person going to clash with the culture that I built at my company? Are they not going to get along?
Exactly.
Are we going to piss off the main salesman that's been here for years, right? Like we don't
No, that's so
need
true.
people clashing, right?
That's
So
so
maybe
true.
they don't fit the culture. And
Mhm.
sometimes people like, it's a honeymoon stage, so they're going to put their best out
Mhm.
first, right? Like their best. And then you start to notice bad habits, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But if you can just think of those 3 things, will they fit my culture? Are they capable of doing this? And then is their character good? Like, are they going to do the right thing? Just
Yeah.
those 3 things alone will kind of lead you towards the right thing, hiring the right person. And then there's so
Exactly.
much more to look into, of course, but like that's just a simple 3 C's that you can consider. Okay.
No, that is so true. That is so true. You know, I've worked with so many people. You know, like I said, I do this because I care about the customer. That doesn't mean that because, you know, I also want to put a team together, just to get a team together that I'm gonna just put anybody in there. And before I decided to proceed with Blue Ribbon Restoration Consultancy, I was working with somebody else, and he says to me, "Look, I made a promise to this one guy who's just started his company, and we're gonna work with him." And I just looked at him and I was like, "I don't like that guy." I was like, I already know who he is. I don't like him. You know, I don't have a good impression of him. And most definitely, I can just see him ripping off the customers. I don't like that. You know, I'm not going to work like that. I want to still be able to go to bed at night and put my head down and feel like I did a good job and, you know, I took care of everybody. And he insisted that I work with this guy, and he insisted that I meet with him. And he said, "You're going to meet with him as much as possible until the day you like him." And I said, all right. I said, all right, let's have a meeting. I was like, because I have a few things I have to say to this person. And we
Yeah.
sat down, and the first thing I said to him was like, I don't like you. And actually having to sit here through this meeting makes me like you even less. I was like, and so I'm telling you, I'm very, very straightforward. And we sat through about an hour of a major tongue lashing from my end to these two men. I got up and I said, I can't do this. I can't, I cannot, their ethics, their character does not match mine. And I
Not worth the
tried
money.
for,
It's not worth
I
the money.
tried.
Mm.
No, it's not. It's not worth the money. It's not worth, for me in that position, right? For me to send a client, a customer to this one company and to feel the whole time like, are they being treated right? Are they being ripped off? In the restoration industry, we're known as the company that's going to go out and rip off everybody. And I don't want that. If I could change that image that we have, I would, that's one of my goals, right? Is to change that image of a restoration company going out to rip off the customers, just like plumbers. Plumbers have that reputation too, and it's sad because
That
you
makes
guys do a lot of work. Plumbers do a lot of work. I know I've been out to plumbing jobs before. Tell a customer to go crawl in a crawl space that's covered in sewage and see how happy they are about that. And the plumber will go out and do it every single day if they have to.
Why
Um, but
I know
but
about
the
all
thing is,
that?
I was in your
I'm gonna
house.
call you first, and you can vacuum all that stuff up before I even take a stick and
Right.
I'll whack it with a stick first, you know?
Yeah. I've been in crawl spaces before and I've been in all of that.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I
So
have to. I have
so
to. I'm just being,
character,
you know.
character and ethics, all of that is so important when you're putting a team together.
Yes.
I
Oh my God.
totally agree with that. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So team building has been huge for me. And to be honest with you, that's the only way I've been able to make millions of dollars for my own company because I couldn't do this all by myself. In the beginning, when I had under 20 customers, I was able to manage like everything, and I built it like that. The first 20 customers, I didn't have any employees. And then I was getting overwhelmed. So like I have 400 now. So it's been a long time ago since I started hiring and like going through that whole
Mhm.
process. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm
Yeah.
honored to work with you and other people like you. And so
Thank
let's
you.
close this up, and I just want to
Yes.
recommend, if you own a plumbing company or a restoration company and you're located in like the Los Angeles area or surrounding areas,
Yeah.
look up
Southern California.
blueribbonrestoration.com. Talk to Carla. She can help you train your reps so they can reach out to plumbers, right? Or if
Yeah.
you're a plumbing business owner, she can help you get more water leaks, and she
Yeah.
comes
No.
across a lot of leads.
And if there's a restoration company out there that's in another state, I actually consulted with a restoration company in Florida.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, I'm here. I'm always available. So
Yeah. And I think
I
we
can
all
help.
know a heavy hitter in your industry. Like there's usually like I know like maybe three solid women that
Mhm.
are kind of similar to you but different, right, in different areas,
Yeah.
and you guys have mastered this, right?
Mhm.
So we all know that person that did really good or does really good, and so imagine
Mhm.
if you could just grab that person and have them teach your people, and that's who Carla
Yeah.
is. She'll
Thank
teach
you.
your staff to do better, so that your company can make more money. So and then
I
of course, if you
appreciate
guys,
that.
if you need
But if you
website,
guys need a website,
you already
that's
know,
fine.
man. I'm over here. How do you like my background? I'm hanging out
I
by the
love it.
San
I've been
Francisco
looking at it the whole time. I'm
Bridge.
thinking I need a background too.
It's part of the Zoom. It's free, it's nothing special. But I hope
I'm
everybody
telling you,
that
I'm really old school, so I don't know how to do any of it.
I think
It's-
your background is fine, totally cool.
Thank
Let's
you.
get out of here. Wishing everybody a happy evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is. If you're watching this video,
Right?
oh, hope you're having a great day, not a crappy day. And you already know, if you're a
Yes.
restoration company and you need help running the business and growing your team and training them, hit up Carla. If
And
you
if you
need
need a
done,
website, I'm Tony.
yeah. Bam. So we're recommending people to each other for a good reason. We're the best at what we do. You guys have a great day, and I look forward to
Mhm.
speaking with you. If you want some more free information, go to strictlyplumbers.com.
Nice.